sing my song. I just wanna run and not be gone too long, 'cause this time is precious still. I wanna keep it close to me. I'm wishing on a star to make more time to see. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream. No one's taken that from you. Only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. When you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside. Look deep into your heart and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming.
Celebration Center, and welcome. My name is Stephanie Snow. I am on the board member here at the Celebration Center, and this morning I am your host. Happy Father's Day. Happy Solstice. If you are online, please say hi in the chat so we can appreciate your virtual presence. This gathering is being recorded and will be available online. We have a wonderful service planned for you. Please join me in thanking our awesome tech crew who makes this all possible, Ivor and Arav. Our guest speaker is Jim Lockard, Reverend Jim Lockard. And our musician today is, well, Joyce at the piano and you all singing. Thank you, Joyce. And now, I would like you to stand, if you would like, for our opening song. And I'm going to get away from the microphone, because I cannot carry it, hold a tune.
You're okay.
Oh, it's this one?
We're not singers, remember? So you have to sing to get rid of our voices.
Yeah.
Now we are gathered within the harmony of the creation that sings through you and me, making us one. Opening heart and mind, leaving care behind, giving away to the flow of life divine, keeping us one. One in the spirit that calls us together again. One in the presence that hallows the moments we share here and then. Goes before us to bless our way.
And now we will read our, thank you, Joyce and company. Now we will read our vision statement together. Our vision is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And now let's all ground together. Center together. Just allow your breath to come in, fill you with delicious air, and release. Breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide for the plants to breathe in so they can breathe out oxygen. Breathe in and out with the whole world. Our reading and prayer today is from my old favorite, 365, Science of Mind. I see the divine presence in all others. And from Psalm 133, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
Amen.
The best way to make friends is to realize that we meet life in everyone. The God in us meets the God in others. Proclaiming the divine presence, believing in it, we shall meet it. Love will find a perfect way. Our faith in the divine presence in others will overcome the fear of being misunderstood or hurt. If the mind is calm and serene, there will be less liability toward pain. Therefore, at all times, we should be, or could be, serene and poised. Confidence and love alone cast out fear. The person without fear is the only truly whole person. It is ours to decide whether we shall live in fear or in faith. Let us decide to live in faith. Let us learn to practice faith until all fear disappears, until life becomes a song of joy. To find peace in the midst of confusion, we must realize our center in pure spirit. To reach this place of confidence and faith, in the midst of doubt and uncertainty, we should consciously unite our thought with the divine mind. I know that God is with me. I know that the spirit within me is perfect. I enter into its peace and am secure in its protection. The unerring judgment of divine intelligence directs my way. The presence of love uplifts me and lights my life today. I give thanks for this awareness, and so it is. I do want to remind you that we can pray for you. You can fill out, we have practitioners, a ministry of prayer can pray for you. You can fill out this card if you're here and hand it to somebody on the board or a practitioner, and they will take it, and every week they will pray for the whole week, every day, for what you request. You can also enter prayers online use a QR code or go to our website, and you will see the prayer button. And now it's time for our next song. Oh yeah, Lynn, I forgot.
Would it be all right if we stand?
You can stand if you want to. You can sing along if you want to.
Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me is available to me. Available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need for strength about what lies before me. Everything I need for strength about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need for peace about what lies before me. Everything I need for peace about what lies before me is available to me. Available to me through the mind of God within me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me.
Thank you, Lynn. Now, wait, where am I? Hold on here. I'm finding my place. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Now is the time for our community greeting. Please turn to a neighbor and tell them, I see good in you, or I see God in you, or I see love in you, or I see joy in you, or I see the presence in you. Okay, and now our speaker is Rev Jim Lockard. He has been an ordained minister for over 20 years and served on International Board of Directors for spiritual organizations, Centers for Spiritual Living, and on the boards and advisory councils of several nonprofits. He received his doctorate of religious science in 2008. He was in pulpit ministry for 20 years in Maryland, Florida, and California. And prior to that, he was in law enforcement for 24 years in Maryland and Florida. There's love, and there's the law. So Jim was, yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Jim is the author of Creating the Beloved Community, a handbook for spiritual leadership, and Sacred Thinking, Awakening to Your Inner Power, and has authored chapters in several spiritual and leadership books. He is perhaps best known for his blog on spiritual leadership. So I would like you to welcome with me Jim Lockard. I think from France. I think that's where he is. Hello, Jim.
Hello. Well, it's so nice to be back. Yes, I am in France, Lyon, France to be specific, where we're experiencing what they call here a canicule, which is a heat wave. It's a little over 100 degrees here today. And I have to say, in general, if you know anything about France, you know that France is not built for heat waves because very few people have air conditioning here. Anyway, it's just one of those things that comes along in life. So we'll carry forward. And it's great to be back at the Celebration Center. I recall Doriana and I, my wife and I, were there in person. It's been quite a while ago, I guess maybe 8 or 10 years ago. And it's nice to visit. And I've been able to come back virtually a few times. So it's Father's Day, and it's the summer solstice. So there's a lot going on, and I think these are things that we can look at. I think it's a good thing to look at in terms of Father's Day. The theme for today is what's love got to do with it, and I would say that for fatherhood, it has everything to do with it. And the question, I guess, is how well do we do that? There's a book from 1973 that I want to reference. It's called The Handbook to Higher Consciousness by Ken Keyes Jr. And it's a wonderful book to have in your library because it's very much up to date metaphysically and so forth. I found it to be a very helpful book in my own development. And it's something we used to do classes on when I was back at the center in Fort Lauderdale back in the 90s. But there's one sentence in that book that I want to bring up today. And that sentence is, all human behavior is the expression of love. Some of it is skillful and some of it is unskillful. So the first time you hear that or read that, you might be taken aback a little bit because we can look around at the range of human behavior, and certainly we wouldn't agree that a lot of it is loving, that in terms of that term or that definition of the word. But I think we have to go back to the metaphysical definition of love, which is, if you will, a larger definition than the one we normally use when we're talking about a feeling of love or romantic love or a love a parent has for their child or vice versa. In metaphysical terms, and certainly Ernest Holmes used these terms in writing The Science of Mind, love is the givingness of the universe, and it's the energy of the universe that we have access to, and that we, through our human mind and our human consciousness and our human intelligence, we turn it from potential into experience. So when we talk about love and law in the textbook, We're talking about the conversion, if you will, of potential into actuality, or the actualization process, where by developing a consciousness or a set of beliefs about something, we tend to make that much more likely to appear in our experience. So when Kais says that all human behavior is the expression of love, this is what he means. And when he says some of it's skillful and some of it's unskillful, that's another way of saying what Ernest Holmes said, that there is only one power for good and there is no power for evil. That evil occurs when we fail to express our good as love. Okay. And I think that we see that all around us. We've experienced it all in our own lives. You have people that maybe aren't very loving. They're very unskillful in their expression of love in terms of creating a good life for themselves, or creating good relationships with others, or creating a sense of givingness to those around them and being part of a vibrant community, for example. So the goal, I guess you would say, the ideal would be to actualize potential into experience as the best version of myself. That would be the idea that how can I be the best version of me that I can be? And how do I know what that is? How do I find that? And there's really one source from which it springs, but there's two ways to find out about it. One way to find out what is your best self is to really do a lot of deep work within, things like meditation and contemplation and so forth, and really learn to get in touch with that intuitive sense within you, that I would call it the intuitive knowing that arises from our soul. And contained within our soul, within my soul, within your soul, is kind of a blueprint for the best version of each of us. And so within that aspect of our deep subconscious, that what we're calling the soul here, what Carl Jung called the self, we have a sense of who we came here to be, if you will. So, and that soul is continually sending up intuitive knowing, intuitive wisdom, intuitive ideas that we often learn how to block and obstruct by the way that we're civilized, by the way that we are enculturated within our family, within school, within the larger culture, and so forth. A lot of times we create beliefs, we are encouraged to create beliefs that aren't true about us. And when we accept them, it makes it that much more difficult to interpret or experience what wants to come through as, say, a positive experience of life. The second way to find out what your best self is from others. And not just anybody, because everybody's mirroring back to us what we're sending out in terms of, how we project how we are to other people, and they mirror themselves back to us. But there are people that care about us, that want us to be the best version of ourselves. And parents would be the ideal ones to do this, and teachers and coaches and siblings and friends. But of course, none of us is going to do this perfectly. So we have to develop a filtering system, if you will. It's called discernment. We have to be able to discern the feedback from others for its validity. Is this of value to me? Is this real for me? Is this ring true for me? And how do I do that? Well, over time, again, connecting with that intuitive knowing that says, yeah, stay away from this person, or don't listen to what they say about this particular aspect, or, yeah, this is someone you want to spend time with and really, get some feedback from, and so forth, and pay attention to how they do things. And the idea there is not to copy people, but it's to help see or find yourself, if you will, through this process. Now, what's that got to do with fatherhood? Well, I think that the essence of fatherhood, aside from helping a child to survive, along with ideally the mother being present, or some other caretakers, is also to imbue how to be in the world. And some of that, how to be in the world, might conflict with who you came here to be. Because becoming socialized, becoming civilized, interrupts some of our base desires, our base appetites, for example. As a little kid, you have to learn not to take other kids' toys, for example. And maybe your mother, you're playing in the sandbox with somebody and you see a toy they have and you go take it and they cry. And then your mother says, give it back to them. And you say no. And then your mother takes it away and smacks your hand or your bottom or something. And then gives the toy back to the other child. And that's how we learn that things don't belong, everything doesn't belong to us. And there's such a thing as private property, which at 2 or 3, you're not really that aware of, right? So we have what we tend to do with that desire to have what isn't ours is we repress it. And we just say, I can't take other people's things. We don't come to a what do you call it? A sophisticated psychological decision, say, well, this doesn't make sense logically and so forth. That belongs to them. I should keep with what's mine. As a small child, you don't have that capacity. So you just have to force yourself not to go take that toy because you'll get your hand smacked, let's say, or you'll have to sit in the corner or something. So there is that conflict between a parent's desire to help you to become who you came here to be, in a sense, and to socialize you into a system as they understand it. And this is, again, is going to be done imperfectly at best. Father's Day, I put a thing on Facebook today. Father's Day is for some a day to celebrate. For others, it's not. It's a day to feel sad. It's a day to feel that life has been unfair in some sense. It's a day to deal with what may have been a very difficult relationship or an abusive relationship. Or it may be a day where there was no relationship, where the father wasn't present. We have to take all that into account as we understand the way we recognize fatherhood on a day like this. Of course, another way to look at it is to say, let's look at it from the standpoint of how do I incorporate healthy masculinity into my life, whatever my gender expression is, because we have both masculine and feminine qualities within us. And to the degree they learn to be blended together and work together, we tend to have a more healthy, vibrant, fulfilling life. So that's part of it too. I mean, it can be, or a good day, if you identify as a woman, it's a good day to look at your masculine side. If you identify as intersex or as trans or whatever it may be, it's a good day to look at your masculine side, just as Mother's Day was a good day to look at your feminine side. And to say, am I really encouraging these aspects within myself to express authentically and honestly and in a healthy way? So if all human behavior is the expression of love, see, then we back off from the idea of condemning other people, because what we're looking for here is not that they're operating from a separate power that's evil or the devil's within them or something like that. If you're in this teaching, you've probably moved beyond that way of thinking. But we are saying that we have to encourage one another and support one another in skillful expression of this love energy, of this energy of life, of this energy that becomes, some of it becomes our body, some of it becomes our behavior, some of it becomes the way we interact with others. This is all that energy, that force, that whatever you want to call it, that is at the grounding essence of everything that exists. So we as human beings have a much more complicated relationship with that energy than, say, my cat, Simone. I have a lovely black cat named Simone who was a rescue. And Simone doesn't need to go to a psychologist. Simone knows how to be a cat. Simone knows what to do that's cat-like, that knows what's dangerous and what isn't, knows what to eat and what not to eat, and doesn't have that large brain that adds in the thinking, language function, and so forth that complicates things. we're often encouraged to look to the animal kingdom or even the plant kingdom, say, a flower knows how to do, a flower knows how to come up and point to the sun and take care of itself and so forth. But I can't be like a flower because I have so much more the capability for intelligence than the flower does. And that intelligence can become complicated. It is complicated. Being alive at this time in history is complicated. So the father ideal, if we take the masculine consciousness, which is the initiating consciousness, the feminine consciousness traditionally is seen as the receptive consciousness, but the feminine consciousness is where the power is. You see? So the masculine within you wants to initiate things, wants to try new things, wants to, take a risk, or wants to try something you haven't tried before, or savor something that really was wonderful. Let's do that again, And the feminine energy within you has to receive that and evaluate it and say, yes, this is something we're going to put energy into, or this is something that we're not, and so forth. And the biological function, that's just one small aspect of masculine, feminine, and where it's the feminine body that carries the seed and gives birth and nurtures it and so forth while in the womb, and then hopefully that becomes a joint task once the child arrives. But no matter what the couple is, if you're raising a child, no matter the genders of the couple, there are 4 energies present, 2 masculine and 2 feminine, if there's 2 people. And it's how do we express those? My father, I was adopted when I was about 2 months old. I apparently came from an illegitimate relationship in the early 1950s, and back in those days, the normal path through that was adoption. And I don't know who my biological parents were or are. They may be around. I don't know. But I was adopted by a couple, and my dad. He had been born in 1919, so he would have been of the age to serve in World War II, but he didn't because he had some psychological issues. He suffered from depression. I found this out much later in life. I didn't know this as a child. And he had actually had electroshock therapy back in the 1940s, and you can imagine the state of that back in those days. But he was a great dad. When I was a little kid, he was a great dad. He was present. We did things together. I don't have complaints about his being a dad. But when I got older, he began to suffer. He began to not be able to keep it together, and he became a very active alcoholic. My mom left him when I was a freshman in high school. We moved out. I would see him like every other weekend. I'd stay with him, and he was just drinking and so forth. I was kind of on my own during those weekends. And then as I got older into life, he just became more and more detached. He remarried, but he and his second wife became pretty much hermits. And I didn't connect with him again until he went into hospice care. And that was actually a good time. There's a couple of weeks there where I was able to spend some time with him. We were able to reconnect. We were able to say goodbye and so forth. But, the things I learned from him after that childhood period were really about how to deal with disappointment, how to deal with the kind of the failure in your own system. Like he couldn't get his mind to do what he thought it should do. He self-medicated with alcohol, and then at one point he got very ill from that, went in the hospital, came out and never drank again. He didn't go to AA, he didn't go into recovery, he just didn't drink anymore. But he continued to have more and more difficulty with, he used to say, my nerves are not good enough for you to come visit, kind of a thing. And he never saw his grandchildren. So, you look back on that on a day like this on Father's Day and you say, well, it's not that I want to be selective and just remember the good things. I want to remember it all. And I want to attribute to him what he was able to do for me. And in fact, during the time when he was really non-functional, he was doing things for me in the sense of giving me an example and giving me a chance to reflect on that, about what if my life turned out that way? What if I began to have those kinds of issues? You see. So today's kind of a day of mixed feelings. It's sort of bittersweet. I've had other father figures in my life that I think about today, and I think that's important to do. But ultimately, in this teaching, we're supposed to become our own parents. I used to give a talk every now and then called "Becoming an Adult of God." We're always talking about how we're children, we're a child of God, and you hear that in many religious circles. But when do you become an adult of God? When do you become an expression of the divine within that is mature, that is intelligent, that is wise, that is a sage, that is open to whatever life has to bring, and sees themselves? I want to see myself as being up for anything that life offers, good, bad, or indifferent. That I want to create a consciousness of receptivity to the fullness of life, not just to good, because, every life is going to have some good and some bad. We're going to have loss. We're going to have difficulty. If you live long enough, you're going to lose a lot of friends and family members. That happens. I'm at the age now where I'm starting to lose some folks I've known for many, many years. That's part of the deal. So our teaching is not to overcome or get out of. It's not a get out of jail free card in a sense. It's more about how do I be with the disappointment in a mature, loving, spiritual way? How do I come to terms with the reality of life? And the ultimate reality of life is that we all are divine beings having a spiritual experience in this human form. And the more we can come to accept that, the more the ups and downs tend to smooth out. Maybe they don't smooth out in the sense of not happening. They smooth out in the sense of how we're present with them from a more empowered way of being. So if there's a gift of good fatherhood, it's a sense of empowerment. It's to own your own authentic self and to live it fully. It's to be a loving person in the sense that I neither abuse nor accept abuse. It's to stand in my own truth because that truth has been rigorously tested to make sure I'm accurate about who I am, and as to allow continued growth. No matter what age we may be, there's more to learn, there's more to be, there's more to express, and there's more to see. So I wish you the most conscious Father's Day possible. And I love you. Namaste. Amen.
Well, thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Jim Lockard. That was wonderful. I always love the way you put science of mind principles in new packages for me. Thank you so much. So, I don't think anyone's here for the first time, but if you want to get the newsletter, if you're here for the first time online, please let us know. And you can fill out a guest card. You can fill these out, of course, through the QR code, through this card if you're here, or going into our website. And you can get a great newsletter, online newsletter. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and offerings. We're a tithing community, and we rely on the tithes and gifts from our congregation. So know that your love, your presence, as well as the love, time, talent, and treasure that you bring is a gift to our community, and we are grateful. There are several ways you can give. If you're in person, feel free to drop your donation in the basket. If you're online, you can scan the QR code, or you can visit our website and click on the Give button, and you can also mail a check, and our address is at the celebrationcenter.org website. There was something else I was going to do, but I forgot what it was. Okay. Read our giving affirmation with me, please. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I know. I was going to put you on the spot, Terry. Do you know who our tithe is going to this month?
World Central Kitchen.
World Central Kitchen, Jose Andres. I can't remember all the recipients of our tithes. Can you?
Arlington Food Co-op.
Arlington Food Co-op.
And our practitioners in Ukraine.
Oh, our practitioners in Ukraine. Thanks, Terry. And now we will bless our gifts. As I know that I am one with God, with good, with divine presence, with creation, with love, with awareness, with peace, I know that these gifts go to bless the world. They go with our love, they go with our intention for us all to become who we truly are, to create fulfillment, peace, joy, and abundance here and everywhere. I give thanks for this, and I let it be, and so it is. And now for our Sunday announcements. So we've got, next week we've got our board meeting, and the week after that we've got our Sunday healing service. Oh, thank you, Ivor. And I don't know if you have one for our Sunday healing service yet, yeah. And is there another one you have? That's all right. Oh, right, the pop-up choir next week. That's right, next week, 9:30. Thank you, Ivor. And Terry, you were going to say something about the Facebook thing? We've had, we mentioned it in our newsletter.
Yeah, just an update. I think you've all heard that we had to give up our Facebook page. We had to start completely new. We lost all 1,000 of our members. But we are back to 27 members on our Facebook page, thanks to your good work. I want to see a show of hands. How many people have pasted our new Facebook address on their own Facebook page? Anybody? Okay, I want to see all these hands. I know some of you don't do Facebook, but if you do Facebook, it's on The address is on our website. On your own page, say, hey, guys, Celebration Center's got a new page. Check us out. And I have default, if you want a little paragraph, you can say about how wonderful we are and how much you love us. Just get to me and I'll email you that paragraph.
It was in the newsletter.
And it was in the newsletter.
Last week.
Yes, maybe we'll run that again.
Yeah, we'll run that again.
And one other note while I'm up here, we just finished week 3 of Reverend Faith's pre-service little discussion group on What Do I Believe? And it's been a delightful conversation where we thought it was going to take a week. We're on week 3 and we've only gotten through number 6 of the 10 belief statements. You are welcome to join us at any time. Reverend Faith is not here next week and possibly not the week after, so it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks. But look for the announcement, come back, be here at 10 a.m. for a great discussion, and she always brings snacks.
Reverend Faith always brings great snacks. Yeah, we'll put it in the newsletter for the next time that we have that. Okay, and now for our last song. Joyce at the piano again. That means I step away from the microphone. Oh yeah, let's circle up. I'll do here. Here, so they can see us on screen. Going to bring Faith into the screen here. All right. Affirmation, I am an adult of God.
I am an adult of God.
And something wonderful is happening in my life.
Something wonderful is
I know it, I see it, I believe it, I am it.
I know it, I
believe it, I am
I
it.
believe it, I am it. I was it.
And so it is.
And so it is.